Straight.
Your mom and dad were there, right?
Yes.
When I started to think about my life in baseball, in order to prepare for this day, I realized I owed a lot of people in my life something, both inside and outside the game. Not only for helping me reach the Hall of Fame, but more important for being there in each in his or her own special way. I want to talk about those people, about what they've meant to me. I also want to mention my dreams and for the future of the game, and what I think we owe the past. I'll start by acknowledging the most influential person in my life. This is an easy one. Dad, why don't you just wave your hand, please? Martinez Jackson. I'm in the Hall of Fame, and I'm addressing you today in large part due to the lessons I learned from him. My dad raised me in the 50s and 60s in a time when we were called colored, as were all black people. He struggled with being treated as a second-class citizen, but still did his best to climb the ladder of equality. He had the ability to express himself, to complain and be heard at a time when it wasn't readily accepted. His thoughts and expressions formed and molded me into the person I am today. I can still hear him, all it was an awful long time ago, correcting my English, making sure I didn't slur my words, say uh-huh, nope, yep. Get an education, he'd say, show some ambition. He also made sure I developed more than the skills of speaking well. He taught me to put the right thoughts behind the right words at the right time. Because of who my dad was and who he helped me to become, I developed a drive with my God-given talents to be someone more than a ball player. He was then a good father. He's become a great friend. I want to take special time now to thank my mom. You know, I guess I'm pretty much the same when it comes to moms. What do you thank your mom for? Just for being there. You know, and it seemed like the older I got, the more she became a part of my life. Also my brother Joe, who was more than a brother. He was important to my upbringing. He's a cool dude, and he's my friend.
I don't know if I could have given my acceptance speech because I would have been crying. Because my dad was my pitching coach growing up. He was my agent. In fact, when I signed with Cleveland, they offered me $35,000. My dad said, let's sit on it. So we go to the hotel and he says, wow, $35,000. He said, I'm going to get more for you. Okay. So the next day we go down and Gabe Paul and Bob Kennedy were the ones doing the negotiating with Cleveland. And they said, what did you think? My dad says, well, if you give us 40, and he never got 1,000 out. And Gabe Paul was across the table and stuck his hand out and he said, it's a deal.
No, I understand, man. That's great stuff. My dad was my coach, and yep. my dad was also my agent, even when I signed with Charlie Finley. But my father was the guy that traveled with me to New York to get the deal done with Steinbrenner, and because the Dodgers came in late, and I wanted to play for the Dodgers. The Dodgers were all right-handed, with Baker and Say and Lopes and Garvey and Yeager and all the right-hand hitters, and Reggie was switch hitter, Reggie Smith. But I would have had a field day with all the right-hand pitching. I was going to stay in California. I was in Oakland, and I really wanted to stay there. But we shook Steinbrenner's hand, and they offered more money than George. Montreal did, and so did the Padres. But the place where I really wanted to go, and I thought the best fit for me was L.A., but L.A. didn't get in. Campanis had Maury Wills call me and offered $3 million, and it was about $300,000 more, which was a lot, obviously a bucket of money at that time. But my dad said, son, you've shaken George Steinbrenner's hand, and we're not breaking that handshake.